live? Hey guys, this is Bobby Clue, Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. We are back again. Another Chamber Spotlight. Today we're out celebrating our Business of the Year in the 6 to 10 employee category, Magic Monograms. I'm here with owner Alan Woodson. Alan, how are you today?
Good, sir. How are you today?
Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out.
So, the reason we do this series, I always like to explain, it's just an extra opportunity for us to learn more about our Business of the Year award winners. I want to get on site. I want to see this award-winning business. And, Alan, the one thing that I know for a fact is that, you're second generation here, and you've really grown this. This is a new-ish building,
yes, sir,
to the business. It keeps growing. Tell us a little bit about the origins, the history of Magic Monograms.
Well, this actually started in 1993. My mom and her sister-in-law, Tracey Turpin, began with a single embroidery head in her dining room,
right,
at my parents' home. From there, they transitioned out into a small storefront, and then later moved out to West Highway 80, where they also opened up West Somerset Pharmacy.
Sure.
And then at some point, about 12 years ago, I had the opportunity to step in and leave the corporate world, and felt like that it was a good fit, and off we went.
Well, was it a good fit? Maybe that's
it's been a very good fit. It suits a lot of my skill set.
Sure.
So,
well, I'll tell you that when you think of embroidery monogramming, I know that this is probably one of the places that's at the top of people's list. You do a lot for our local community, and those are the reasons that we look at these awards, not just successful businesses, because there's a lot of successful businesses in Pulaski County, but are you giving back? Are you doing the right things? And I look around here and I see schools, I see the hospital right there. I know that you do a lot of work here in this community. How much would you say of the work that you do is here for this community?
Off the top of my head, I would say 60%
Wow.
is local, and then there's 40% that we ship out across different parts of the country.
Sure. So and I'm sure you're happy to send product anywhere that anybody
Absolutely.
wants.
Yep, we do every day.
Yeah. So how long have you been in this? So this used to be a church right here.
It was a church
this building.
and a bingo hall back in the day.
It was really.
And so we moved over here. We'd had part of our operation over here for 2 years, and then we moved everything over here just within the last year.
Okay.
So about a year ago is when we.
How many square feet do you have here? Would you say?
12,000.
12,000.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow! That's a little bit bigger than your place out on West Highway 80.
Quite a bit larger. Yes.
You've been about 4 or 5 of those places.
At least 4, maybe 5. Yes.
Well, one thing I'd love to do is, before we go back and we maybe look at the process a little bit.
Yes, sir.
We talk about community a lot. We just celebrated the anniversary of the devastating tornado that came through last year.
Yes, sir.
And, I know that, you were one of the first people that, reached out to the chamber, and, we collaborated on a shirt,
Yes, sir.
606 strong last year. We sold 6,000 of those shirts. How many did you think we were going to sell originally?
Not 6,000.
No, not me neither.
I think we wound up raising 120 for the community. And I guess if I was, if I had to sit down and put a finger on it, I would have imagined somewhere in the 20 to 25,000 range if we got lucky. And we exceeded that by a wide margin.
Well, it was for a great cause, and I will tell you, that money went directly back into this community. We raised about 49,000 of that 120 went directly to our first responders. I remember handing those checks out personally to those volunteer fire departments. I remember giving those $100 cards for either Walmart or Kroger out to those volunteer firefighters and the police and the special responders and all those people. And then about 73,000, give or take, went right back to businesses that were affected by that. Sir. We wrote checks in $3,000 increments to anybody who applied that was affected by the tornado. And obviously $3,000 isn't going to rebuild your business, but what people don't think about a lot of times, Alan, is that a lot of those employees, they weren't getting paid while those businesses weren't working, and that was an opportunity to help supplement a little bit of their time. It was an opportunity for them to help their employees.
Yes,
and I just want to commend you. I think that's what you did was one of the most selfless acts, because I know that you donated everything. And when a lot of people say that they did a t-shirt fundraiser, what they're saying is that, okay, this t-shirt, if you give me $20, I'm going to take the cost out for that t-shirt, labor, and all those things. Then whatever's left, we'll donate that to the pot. You gave every single penny of this fundraiser to this donation. I mean, you donated 6,000 t-shirts essentially, and all the labor that came with that.
Yeah, you know, Bob, you know, this community has been awful good to my family over the last 50, 60 years, and it was just my time to step up.
It was.
And it was our pleasure to do so. I'll be the first to admit I wasn't expecting it to turn out to what it turned into, but I was more than happy to do it.
I don't think you're going to partner with us on a lot of other fundraisers like that, but that was such a unique opportunity to give back to this community, and I want to thank you personally for what you did.
Well, it's just one of those situations, you know, it was a once in a lifetime event that came through here, and it was devastating. I got up that morning and I came here expecting the worst, and you know, we weren't touched, so I went down on the south end of town to my uncle's dealership down at Toyota, and you know, they were sitting there writing service tickets. They weren't affected, but if you look everywhere around them, complete devastation. It was amazing.
I remember going out that day and just to survey the business community and to see who had been affected, and I'd never personally seen anything like that up close, and it was a fraction of what we got, what London got, you know, and it was just, my heart went out. I went to the office that day just to try and find ways to help, and you know, literally that day is when the collaboration started. So
we started that Saturday morning after the tornado, and by Monday morning we had the website up and going, and we were raising money for the community.
Yeah, so. it was tremendous, and honestly, those are the kind of selfless acts where I know you're a humble guy, Alan, but that's why, you know, those are the reasons why you're a business of the year. You know, we want to recognize that, because humble people, a lot of times they don't want to brag on themselves, but that's our job at the Chamber. We want to do that for you. We want to recognize outstanding service to our business community. So
I appreciate that. I would rather talk about my team members because they're the ones who did all the hard work.
100%. Can we go, speaking of team members, can we go check out the operation?
Yep,
we'll follow you.
Yes, sir. Come on.
So this is where all the magic happens, right here.
Yep, back here in the back, this is where we do almost all of our production. Over here on the right-hand side is our embroidery department. So we started with a single head embroidery machine back in 1993, and now we have 15 heads of embroidery.
15 now, wow.
We've got 2 ladies who work in this department full time, and we're just very fortunate to have the team members that we do.
Yeah, I mean, this is a heck of an operation. I bet you never thought it was going to be this big, did you?
Yes.
You hope you envisioned. You hope so.
I did, yes, because and we're striving to double what we're doing now.
So not only monogramming and embroidery, but you do the custom screen printing. Tell me about the other services that you do.
We do custom screen print. We have a direct-to-garment printer. We also do direct-to-film, which is relatively new to the market.
Right.
We have direct-to-film over here. So basically, we just take this film and print it off, and we heat press it.
Right.
It goes directly onto the stud. We have a little carousel heat press here that heat press everything. And this is good for small runs. It's good for runs. It's got a lot of colors, although this particular one doesn't, but it's just more of a small run.
Okay.
And then, so that is one of the things that we do. In addition to
So
that,
that's a fairly new process for you guys?
It is. It is. It's probably 2-3 years old. You're starting to see a lot of, you're starting to see a lot of it on Facebook and different places. It's cheap and easy to get into that market.
Okay.
However, if you don't have the right equipment to apply it, then you're going to be stuck with some issues down the road.
Sure.
But it is a quick process, and it's great for something that has a high color count or small runs.
Okay.
Then over here is our screen print department. One thing that separates us a little bit from everybody else is we do have 2 automated screen print machines.
So you can have all these different
stations
Yes.
working at the same
Yeah.
time?
So we got 2 automateds, and we have a manual here, and we can have all 3 of them running at the same time, and oftentimes we do.
Gotcha.
And then we have our conveyor belt there that dries and cures the ink. Put the t-shirts on there, spits out on the other side, and then the ink is cured. And then when you go to wash it, it's not gonna wash.
So that's just a giant, the heat that
Yep.
warms them up? It's like when we took a pizza oven.
It looks exactly like a pizza oven. The difference is instead of cooking pizza, we're curing ink on
You're
your
curing, you're cooking shirts.
Yeah. And then end result would be like what we see here on the table or what is coming off the belt now.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, works out pretty good. Although it's not up and running at the moment, we also have a direct-to-garment printer, and it is just a way of putting the t-shirt on the platen, and it literally prints the ink onto the t-shirt.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Rather than, yeah, is that some more one-off custom things?
Get in and out the door.
You wouldn't do that for 100 of them. That'd be like if I need 1 or 2, you put it on that.
Yeah, we would not do that for 100 pieces.
Sure.
We have on occasion, but it's something that has a high color count, a lot of detail that it can pick up. It can pick up picture-like images, which is kind of cool. But we also do a lot of print on demand. With some of the transfers that we looked at earlier. We have several companies that we do a lot of uniforms for.
Right.
For example, Solitude, which is a division of Terminex, we do a lot of work for them. Red Stag, they're a fulfillment company out of Knoxville in Utah. We do a lot of work for them. So we have stores that we have set up specifically for their employees.
Oh, wow.
Their employees can go online and buy things.
Yeah, well, you've done that for us
Yep.
at the chamber,
Yep.
actually. And I mean, that's a really neat. Is that's probably something new to the market as well in the last few years?
Yep, within the last 4 or 5 years, and we tried to embrace that right away. So they became popular during COVID. You couldn't have a lot of people in your store,
Right.
So we tried to embrace that right away. And today we probably have 40 or 50 stores operating at any one time.
And then you could put all the different designs
Yep.
and images for hoodies and t-shirts
Yes, sir.
and hats and all that on there, and then they can just go to that specific site
Yes, sir.
that you created and purchase what they
Yep.
want, and then you can take care of it.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, and the one thing I've learned in the last few years, especially from my wife, because she's big on embroidery and things. You know, women
Right.
love to embroider things.
Yeah, we see Andrea quite often.
I know that I thought it was just shirts for the longest time, but and hats. But
Yeah.
you can embroider just about anything.
Just
you can
about
do
anything.
backpacks.
Yep.
We did coolers.
Yep.
I guess it's endless the things that you can probably do.
Yeah, if you want to walk out back, we'll show you another unique thing that we're doing right now for
Yeah.
the local factories in town.
Do it.
So what exactly are we looking at right here, Alan? This looks like a custom order of almost 1,000 rocking chairs.
We actually, Bob, we have 760 of the outdoor rockers.
Wow.
These are the GCI rockers that will actually pop open, and we'll take the backs off and we'll screen print the backs of them.
So you'll have a particular logo that you can screen print
Yes, sir.
on the backs of these. So not even just embroidery, screen printing on the backs
Yep,
of these.
it'll be right on the backs of them. There'll be 760, and we'll just take them all out.
Wow.
And take the backs off. It actually, the way these were shipped to us, they were shipped in one box, one chair. It took us 2 days to get them unloaded and to get them in here.
Well, this is.
But these are the top of the line stowaway rockers.
Yeah, I've got one of these for the old softball
Yep.
field. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, they're great, actually. And so we'll just pop that back on and we'll screen print their logo right there.
That's, you know, and that's maybe the biggest thing I think we want to impress on people with this interview is that, you know, it's just such a brave new world where 10, 15 years ago, you couldn't screen print on things like this.
Correct.
And now you have the technology, you can screen print on just about anything.
Just about. And these are actually going to a local factory that we got in here to decorate for them. Part of the giveaway to their team members.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
we're very fortunate to work with that factory.
Well, Alan, you know, the biggest thing I want to do is I want to thank you personally for being a chamber member. I want to thank you for allowing us to invade your space
Yes,
today.
sir.
I know you guys are incredibly busy, so thank you for doing that. And also, I just want to congratulate you on being one of our Business of the Year award winners. It's incredibly well deserved, and the reason we're doing this is to highlight that great work you're doing here in our community. So thank you again.
Well, Bob, I'd like to take a minute to thank you. You know, transformation in this community over the last 4 or 5 years, we could not be where we're at without the likes of you and forward-thinking folks like our mayor and Speeda and our county judge. And we just really appreciate tourism. A lot of that credit goes to Michelle and her staff down in the tourism office. And I just want you to know how much that we, as business owners, appreciate you and all that everybody is doing to work together to become a collaborative unit to grow our community.
It takes an army, Alan, and I appreciate that very much. So thanks again, guys. We're here with our 6 to 10 employee business of the year, Mr. Alan Woodson, Magic Monograms Embroidery, right here in Somerset, Kentucky. Stay tuned. We have a whole series that we're doing with our chamber spotlights, and we'll be back with another one very soon. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.